Hey guys, this is Forsaken Reality here with 10th episode of the RPG tutorial series. In this episode, we're going to be finishing up the melee chain combat system. So without further ado, we'll get into that. Before we start on the notifies, I'm going to go into the items holdable, the master holdable, and set up the heavy melee attacks combo. So do this, copy all of this, Control C or right click to copy, Control V, paste it here. And these will be for the heavy attack chains. And we'll just name this one heavy attack. Like that. And now we'll want to go through here and replace everything from light attacks to heavy attacks. Chain heavy. So we're checking for the amount of heavy attacks we've done rather than light attacks compared to the length of the heavy attack array. Here's another one. There's a few of these. Just replace all these. I'm gonna pause the. Actually, no, I'll just do it in the video. Set heavy attack. Now that we have this, we can actually just Control C, Control V this twice, paste it in here, and I just noticed something else too. You're gonna wanna drag out this and enter chain heavy attack for all of these. Just notice that these need to be replaced. Let's do it to these ones out here. Whoops. Chain heavy attack. So this is setting the variable for this so it can be used within the child blueprints to determine switching between heavy and light attacks, which I'll show you. So everything here is chain heavy attacks. So this one should be 1. And you're actually going to want to fix this one here too. Just gonna delete this, drag these over. And plug this in here and here. One, 2, 0. So it sets it to 1, 2, and then resets it after the third combo. And you can continue it on by adding another one. And setting a 3 here, and then 0 on the next one. And adding another, and then all you need to do is add another one to the array here, and it will pick it up, work. So that's the heavy melee. Actually, I think there's a couple more things now right here. Yep. chain heavy attack. So now that it's getting montage, or depending on the ID here in the array of heavy attacks. I believe that is it for the heavy attacks. Now that that's done, we will begin the montages, or the animation notifies. The first thing we're going to want to do is create some animation notifies. So we are going to head back to the RPG tutorial folder, going through our animations, sword and shield, montages, and in the first montage for now, we will go to our notifies, right click, and add new notify, and we'll call this one okay, this one will be first notify we'll create is chain attack. The second notify is reset attack. And the third notify is stop animation. So for these, we'll want to determine when we'll want the chain attack to start. So put the chain attack right there. When we'll want everything for the attack to reset. So we'll put this one right here, and stop animation we'll just put just after that. Put this one right here, and we'll reset the attack right here. So something like this. We can also add a new notify track if you really want to make it neater here. Just pull this down here so you can actually see it now a little better. And we will want to do these for all 3 of our montages that we've created for our light attacks. So now you want to add, now we have them created, we can go to add notify and go to skeleton notifies and chain attack, add notifies, skeleton notifies, reset, stop. Okay, for this one, put the chain attack right there. The reset attack. We're near the end. Maybe right here. And we can add a new track. Stop the animation right here. So we'll stop the animation and reset it back to the normal pose once we set it up in the animation blueprint. And the third one, we'll want to do the same thing. We could also just go into our other one and select and hold Control and click these other 2, right click, copy, and then open up the new animation and paste. And you want to select all of these at the same time. Probably going to need them in a different location. So Right here seems fine for this one. Maybe a little bit ahead. And oh, reset attack. Stop the animation right here. Okay, so that's our notify setup in our montages. So now we want to go back to our animations folder, go to our animation blueprint, and we're going to create a new graph called notified graph. And in this graph, we're going to file, and then we're going to call all three of our notifies. So if you just right click and right type them in, reset attack, you get an anim notify event, and stop animation. So now we have all three of our notifies, and when this each one of these play, as the animation plays, it'll run the code for these notifies. So it'll notify when we're allowed to chain attack, when we reset attack, which will disable chaining attack, and from that point on, and reset back to the first attack in a combo, and then stop animation, which will just reset the player back to it'll just stop the animation, and basically it won't continue on these last few frames that we don't really need. Now we're just going to want to first off get a reference to the character and get the character component. And from there we want to check the player's playing, or we want to set playing animation to false, because we're going to disable the animation. This will allow us to continue with the other animations basically. Now we're going to want to set up a couple more functions for chain attack and resetting the attack. So to do that, we're going to go to the blueprint character, EP master character. Or sorry, not the character. Keep that open for now, or just close it. Components and character component. And in here, we're going to create a function called chain attack. Before I finish with this function, I'm going to actually check the attack event. So in here, we're going to want to put, now that we have our attack set up for heavy attacks, we're going to want to check. So we're not performing a light attack. We'll check if we're performing a heavy attack. And if we are performing a heavy attack, we'll just copy this, get reference to the holdable item, and then we'll search heavy attack. And that will get this event in the master holdable blueprint for the currently equipped weapon. And if false, we'll just want to return. And we'll also want to return. So that's the attack event finished. Just comment this quick. This is setting the, if you're attacking, you're playing an animation, and that's this, and this notify right here, it disables it at the end of your animation, basically. Just copy. Play attack check. Comment. Heavy attack check. Form. Heavy attack. From holdable reference. And form light from holdable reference. Up there, just so you know what it is exactly. And I'll just bring it slightly down over. And there's that. Now we'll comment this so we know. Set animation playing true. This will be disabled at the end of the attack. So now it knows it's playing an animation if you're attacking, basically. So now we'll head into the chain attack and we'll set that up. So you want, first we're going to want to create a branch and check if chain attack boolean is true. So this gets set when we do our second attack, before we do our second attack, so we can set chain attack false, so we can disable it, so we can do the same check and set it again after our next attack. And if it is a chain attack, we will attack. And finally we will return. And we'll also want to return if we go false. So that's the chain attack. We'll comment this, check if chain attack is true. If true, set chain attack false to be reused during the next chain attack. And that performs the attack, obviously. Now we're going to want to create an event, a function for reset attack, which will be used to reset all the variables for the most part. So you want to set light attack false, set heavy attack false, set playing animation false, chain attack, set this to false, or no, we don't set this to false here, sorry, that'll be set to false elsewhere. And oh yeah, chain attack, this is what I wanted to set the chain light attack to 0 to reset it, set chain heavy attack to 0 to reset that, and we'll return. And I'll just reset those. And now from here we want to go to our master animation blueprint. Copy, paste this, get the character component one more time. And we're just going to want to call set attack. And one more time with this chain attack. I guess I don't need to put notify there because it's in the notify graph. Commenting these. So attack variables, and we'll move this one up slightly. Comment it. Form a chain attack. So basically the animation will only play if the chain attack is true, and the only time that this variable is set true is when you have, if you attack and you click the mouse again during your chain attack, it will allow you to set this true. So now I'm just going to test that out quickly and see. Okay, so there's a root motion issue there with the animation. So you want to find your original animations, which I use for the slash. And you want to just tick the enable root motion in the that should allow it. Combo properly. There we go. So all that's really left to do now is quickly set up the heavy attack. We have everything set up. We just need to basically call the event and set up. So first we'll need to select 3 heavy attack animations. And then from there we will go to our data folder, data tables, our item list. We'll get our sword. And in here we'll create 3 new heavy attacks. Put the montages that we created in there. You want to make sure to select root motion, obviously. I'm just telling you this now because I'm actually going to give you a chance to pause the video and maybe try it out yourself. To give you maybe a little bit of a learning experience. A little bit more of a learning experience for you to do it on your own, and then I'll show you it after. So basically, all we're going to need to do once you do that, set up the data table animations, is okay, so we have our heavy attack check. We'll just drag off here, copy this, paste this here on the end of the heavy attack check, so that's going to go into the attack now. So now I want you to set up an input for your right mouse button for heavy attacks and basically recreate this, but use your heavy attack checks rather than your light attack checks. So you can pause the video here and try it yourself, and I'll quickly set that up right now. Okay, and we're back. Hopefully you ended up figuring that out. If not, we're going to walk through it right now. First thing you want to do is pick a few animations. So I'm going to search for attack. And I'm going to use these 3, not in this order. Create a montage of all 3 of your attacks. that's all three of them. So jump, quick slash, and slow slash. So you're gonna want to go into your each of these, make sure root motion is enabled. I already have it in most of them. And now we're going to want to set up the notifies. So this is going to be my first one, the quick slash. I'm going to name it heavy fast spin. Heavy slow spin. Heavy. I think this is the slow spin, actually. I think I just messed that up. Okay, this is the jump. So heavy. It's jump, attack. Heavy fast spin, heavy slow spin, heavy jump attack. And I will move these three to the montages folder. Head over to my montages folder. I put montage after all of these, so when I'm reading them in the file, I can know exactly that they're montages. Light. So it's a little more organized. Just to make sure. Okay, so now that we have that done, we're going to want to open up our heavy spin fast. And I'll set the first I'll create a new track notify. I'm actually going to go into my light attack, select these three, right click and copy, and I'll go into my heavy fast spin, paste those, and I'll just put the chain attack start over around here somewhere. And reset attack over here and stop animation. Save that, go to the next. Heavy slow spin, which will be my second attack, paste multiple relative. And yeah, that should be good. So once we have our three montages set up, we'll want to go into our item data table. Head down here and switch up heavy. Fast spin for the first one. Slow spin. And heavy jump attack. So now we have our three heavy attack montages set up. And everything is being read through here. It's determining the montage being played through the data table there. So we'll want to go into our master character. And Make some space in here. Copy all this and paste. And we'll keep that like that. Now we'll actually want to go into our inputs. Project settings, input, and create a new one called heavy attack. And this will be our right mouse. And we will be able to do other things with our left and right mouse because we'll check if we're later on. I'm thinking of adding a targeting system, which I'll allow it up to you. I'll set a toggle up, but it'll be so while you're targeting an enemy, you'll be able to attack, and while you're not, you'll just perform other things with the left mouse and right mouse that you would do. And I'll set up a toggle like I just mentioned, which you turn it off and it won't do it. Basically, you don't need to do the code, but that'll be later on. But either way, that's how this setup is going to be. We're going to delete this bottom one, and we're going to search for a heavy attack event and plug that in there. And just making sure, and then we'll want to, at the end here, have you managed to get this by yourself? It's pretty good. Good job. Now we're just going to test this out. There we go, we have heavy attacks that aren't resetting on the last animation for some reason. Okay. One moment, I'll fix that. And I think I already figured out my issue. Want to go into your montage and if you haven't done this already, set up your notifies. I'm just gonna copy them from one of the other ones. Same notifies we'll need. And we'll chain from here, I guess. We'll reset the attack over here, and we'll stop the animation just after that. Now when we play, we should have light attacks and heavy attacks that allow us to continue. You'll obviously can adjust where your notifies play exactly so the animations play a little better. I need to adjust mine because my notifies are slightly off and it's playing them not a little too early. So you just want to grab if you notice that like you're clicking your buttons and then you'll let go and it'll still play one, maybe you'll want to move your chain attack a little farther down this way. Just keep adjusting that to turn, and it will slowly allow you to fix that problem. Different animations are all different, pretty much. Now I'm just going to show you guys how to mix your chain attacks. So like you can perform a light attack, a heavy attack, then a light attack, for example, and you can mix and match it however you like, depending on how much combos you have. So you want to go to your BP sword or whatever blueprint we created, and in the child blueprint, you want to call these. You want to call these two events that we created earlier, and the variables are being set to them right there, so they'll know they'll be feeding out the current chain attack for light and heavy attacks. So we'll go into our sword, go chain light attack, call the event chain heavy attack, and from here we'll want to do a switch on int. Same thing over here, switch. And since we have 3 combos and we're going to combo between the first 2, you don't combo the final. You want to create 2 switches. So this is setting for the light attack. First, you'll want to get your character reference, character component, and then you want, for the light attacks, you want to set heavy attack. So when you perform your first light attack, it will set the heavy attack to 1, for example. So now after your first light attack is performed, heavy attack is also set to 1. So now you right click, it'll perform your second heavy attack in the chain since the heavy attack is 1. And you can set this to 2 or whatever one you want to perform. And down here, say you want to continue in the combo. For heavy attacks and light attacks, use 1 and 2. Okay, so that's commented. Comment that for the whole thing here. And the heavy attack will be similar. Grab our character component from our character reference. Instead of setting our heavy attack, we'll set light attack. Set this to 1 so that after we perform our first heavy attack, our light attack is also set to 1, so that if we click our left mouse button now, it will perform the second light attack chain. And if we're in the second attack of our heavy attack, then we'll set the chain attack to 2, which will then perform the final, the second last animation before finally coming to an end. And we'll test that out quickly now. Just comment this first. Gets the current light. Depending on the input, it will determine the light attack value to be used if you click right left mouse button. So that's that one done. So now we should be able to combo between light and heavy attacks. So light attack. Yeah, there we go. So light attack, second heavy attack, third heavy attack. So light, heavy, light, heavy. Just gonna test something here. Okay, so it's playing the second one twice because it's actually kind of neat how we're able to combo through both of them that way. But here you want to set this to 0, and this should play the final animation and reset it to 0 then. And it does not. So we'll just set this to 2 for now. That allows us to combo between them both. I'll look into that, see why it's doing that. Doing that final one twice. Yeah, I was looking at that quickly. It's simply just I started with the too high of the variable here, so 0, 1. And I'll just leave that 1 too, because you can mix and match your animations however you want. So now we're comboing between light and heavy attacks. So that should be it for the combo system for now. We'll probably do some updates on it and make it a little better later on. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments or anything you'd like to suggest, please leave a comment below, or on my Discord. I have a Trello channel which I'll be updating over time, which will include all the next coming videos and some things which are planned out. Hope you liked the video and stay tuned for the next one. See you.